Okie dokie. What we need to do. Three watching. Can anybody hear me? All right, awesome. Mic sounds very strange. I bet. Yeah, I've got it on. I figured it out, man. I'm just using my my phone for the minute, just to get the chat up until the monitor comes. So yeah. Let me. I just want to do a quick. Yeah, you see the thing is as well. Do you guys know how to mute the audio? Or maybe this isn't going to work. Alright, if I turn this all the way down and then play. So I'm currently live. And then that's playing on the old phone. Let's see if we get a few people in here as well. Yeah. I think I've got it. I think I figured it out. It's fine. The main thing for me is, I tell you what it is. I've got a Stream Deck and I've got all of this good stuff. That's fine. All of that's not the issue. The issue is the chat box, right? You know, I want to be able to see the chat box while I'm while I'm streaming, while I'm recording, or whatever I'm doing, streaming. So the issue for me was right now, while I'm waiting for this little monitor to arrive, so I can have the chat box to one side. Because next year I actually plan to do, some pretty cool live streams, and I want to make sure, that I have everything set up the way I want to. Oh, and I'm trying to record my flipping screen now. Right. So at the minute I've just got, like I said, I've just got my phone up. It's fine. I can see the chat window. If you guys could just if you guys could just post a bunch of stuff in the chat, and then I can get a feel for what's going on. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to mark up the S&P, try and get a feel for where the market's going to be going over the next 2-3 months. Yeah, I agree, Shane. I'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. Easy day, random chatter. Sweet. Testing. Nice. Delay sounds good as well. It's, everything seems on point. I think the streaming settings are perfectly fine now. The main focus is BTC 1 million tomorrow. Can you imagine? Yeah, BTC. I mean, being as we're doing some charting, I'll just quickly tell you. Yeah, it would be nice. It would drag everything with it as well. But I think to be honest, I mean, look, a lot of people refuse to accept reality, right? Thanks, Thormord. What a name! That's an awesome name. Trigvason. A lot of people refuse to accept reality, right? They don't want to accept what we're seeing, right? We're seeing a huge correction, right, on Bitcoin, and there's no way, right, based on everything that's happening in the world, right, that we're not going to continue going lower as far as I'm concerned. Even if we get a run to the upside, it will be short-lived. Yeah, we are going to end up, as far as I'm concerned, down here, right? Because the correction has nothing to do with cryptocurrency, right? Thor. All right, Thor. Awesome. Yeah, I'd take 300k as well, man, all day long. But the what's happening with cryptocurrency, right? Like, really think about what I'm about to say. Separate cryptocurrency completely, right, from everything else, yeah? Because it's the slowest market right now. There's nothing happening in cryptocurrency, zero, nothing. There's no movement, or volumes have dried up. I can guarantee you every single project that you're invested in, is pretty low. There's just no volumes. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing, right? So there's no argument to be made, right, that cryptocurrency, is the place to be investing your money. It isn't. Yeah, it's not. And I say that, as forcefully as I possibly can, right? What I mean by that is, I'm not saying don't purchase or buy, or add to your investments when it makes sense to do so based on whatever plans you've got, that's fine. But what I'm saying is trying to look at cryptocurrency and do like, a stock, when you stock screen and you look at lots of different companies, something to invest in, you do some research, blah, blah, blah. You can't really do that with cryptocurrency at the minute, because when you do, zero is moving. Look at CHSB, right? CHSB, or Swissborg, right? Swissborg is absolutely killing it, right? In terms of their, sorry, Shane, what's down there you circled? It's far away. 11655. It's the start of the liquidity pool on Bitcoin. So Swissborg's absolutely killing it. Yeah, they're doing so well. 150 million in revenue, 700,000 members or investors or whatever. Yes, they're an exchange, but they're absolutely destroying the market. In terms of their security, in terms of a solid exchange, in terms of solvency, all that good stuff, right? And look at their price of their CHSB token. It's at 23, and it will most likely go down, with the rest of the market. But does that change the fundamentals of the company? No, right? Would you invest in Swissborg? I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is it's not the place to be looking at right now, right? So you look at other markets like the Nasdaq, for example. Yeah, I mean, if you drop down to the hourly of the Nasdaq, like this is just moving all the time, right? We've already had, this was yesterday, right? So it dropped yesterday during the open, then it had a really nice rally, and it just got really messy for a while, and then, sort of overnight, it's just been grinding up. There's movement. That's the point I'm trying to make. There's movement, right? You look at oil, there's movement on oil. You look at some of the Forex pairs, there's movement on these. They're still actively trading because they're established markets. Yeah, they've been around for a very long time. They're heavily used. There's always something going on, in these markets. So obviously people engage with them. Huge businesses engage with these markets. You've got pension funds and mutual funds and hedge funds that are constantly engaging in these markets and so on, right? They're not engaging in cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is such a small, and fresh and still very new market. And because of that, it's going to take a while. There's this kind of argument. I mean, I've been having this argument with people for a very long time, right? That cryptocurrency has had its day, and that it's irrelevant. And it's like, dude, the cryptocurrency market is so new, right, that it's going to take years and years, right, to establish, a volume baseline in terms of investors engaging with cryptocurrency. And the other thing that people need to understand is there's going to be a transition phase as well, right? So the more crypto is adopted throughout time, the more we're going to get situations like Let's say you have cryptocurrency 1%, stock market 99%, right? Eventually that's going to slowly start to come a little bit closer together, right? Well, you might have 10%, of people engaging in cryptocurrency, and eventually, as cryptocurrency technology or blockchain technology, right, is incorporated into this kind of digital world that we're going into, that's going to change things a lot. And I think, and this is just me, how you doing, Mike D? You're right, man. Yeah, very long time. For me, I think, and don't quote me on this, but I've got a funny feeling, right, that as time goes by and we get closer to, the next sort of 3 to 5 years, I honestly think, right, that trading as we know it is going to be different, and less accessible. I think right now trading is very accessible to everybody, right? If you want to go and open, a very small account with a particular brokerage, whatever, you can do that, no problem. And you can trade, you can have a good time, you can have a shot, you can learn, do whatever you're going to do. And you can do that with a very small amount of money. Even if you just go to the futures market, your micro, your minis, I mean, you can stick $500 in there and off you go, right? So the barrier to entry is very low when it comes to certain markets, yeah? And it's the same with cryptocurrency. The barrier for entry is very low, but eventually they'll make it where it will be very difficult to engage with cryptocurrency, I think, and certain markets. So we'll see how it goes. But we have a very, very, very good opportunity over the next 2 to 5 years, I think, to capitalize on whatever's coming. I just want to see the markets tank, to be honest. I just want to see a huge drop. Just get it out of the way. Let's take a look at the Dow. I mean, look at the Dow. The Dow's running. Check this out, right? This is the weekly chart of the Dow Jones, right? Look at the response. Really, really nice response, right? It's just taken out this high. Look at the S&P. Yeah, not as not as strong. And then look at tech or the Nasdaq. Yeah, very muted. Yeah, and it came all the way down, takes out this low. Finds support down here. You get a really nice push to the upside, right? So things are very mixed at the moment. And today we do have, just so you know, I'll just quickly show you. We have, let me just do a refresh. We've got core PPI, and then consumer sentiment, inflation expectations. That's all coming out today. So 1:30 GMT time, 3 o'clock. We should see a little bit of volatility in the market. And here's the other reason why cryptocurrency is pretty much dead at the minute, right? And that's because if you look at news announcements, right, that affect the dollar, yeah, which should in turn affect Bitcoin, which should in turn affect the rest of the cryptocurrency market, we have literally had nothing. Look at Bitcoin on the 1 minute chart. I mean, look at the state of this. Yeah, that's not normal, man. This is just not normal for one of the most volatile assets on the planet, or at least it has the reputation for being one of the most volatile assets on the planet. Look at the state of that. This is a 1 minute chart, man. Yeah, and it's just grinding sideways. This is just not normal. It's not normal. So people just aren't engaging right now. They're not interested. Take a look at Binance. Same thing. You see this kind of grinding sideways, and it's almost like people are being kind of forced into this idea of just wait for the market for some news to hit the market, right? What have we had this year? Let's just be frank. What have we had this year? We've had a correction. We've had nothing but bearish sentiment in the cryptocurrency market. We've had exchanges going to shit. We've got FTX basically screwed everything up. Celsius, yeah, big problems with Celsius. We've had all of these other issues that have been happening throughout this cryptocurrency year. We've had hacks. We've had exploits. We've had bridges being hacked. We've had Binance being hacked multiple times, not just once, right? And so on and so on and so on. There is nothing good to come out of this year so far for cryptocurrency, unless you're looking in the right places, right? There needs to be a shift in the way that we do things with cryptocurrency. There will be some trendsetters. There will be people out there that are going to be doing things, and constantly sort of pushing the envelope to make things a little bit more appealing for cryptocurrency. Bridging, traditional finance and cryptocurrency is absolutely key, and being able to walk into an investor conference or an investor setting, and speak to investors with confidence and say, yep, I have a X company, and this is what we do. This is our token. This is, our blockchain, services, and to be able to do that with confidence. Right now, people can't do that. There's not many companies out there, cryptocurrency projects, companies, whatever you want to call them, right, that are out there that have the confidence to go into an investor, setting and talk confidently about their project. Yeah, because they sound like clowns, to be honest. They just do, So that's what we need to get to. We need to get to that, and that's when sort of cryptocurrency will be a little bit more sort of adopted and mainstream. We have to put the work in. Yeah, we're the ones that have to go out there and put the work in. It's not going to take very long. Let's use, I'll use Ramatic Finance because obviously I'm the CEO of Ramatic Finance, right? Ramatic Finance, obviously, putting aside the exploit that happened, which was fucking travesty, man. It's just so bad. But anyway, when we're at the stage where we want to be, right? Let's say I go into, a situation where I'm talking to 25 investors, and I explain the situation with Ramatic and and they like what they hear and they invest, right? Those 25 people, over time, they will start to see returns on their investment. They're like, do you know what? This is solid. Yeah, solid company, solid services, constantly growing, always pushing the envelope, always looking to do something new, and looking after people outside of cryptocurrency to bring them into cryptocurrency, right? So people start to realize that it makes sense. So they talk to their friends, they talk to their investor friends, and so on and so on. And that's just me, one person, right? One company, yeah. So slowly, that starts to grow, and it grows organically. We push on our end. The people that are invested, they push on their end. And then people start to look at cryptocurrency a little bit more favorably. They don't look and say hacks, exploits, exchanges going down, investor money being stolen, fraud. That slowly starts to become solid, integrity, good companies, because there's many. There's so many companies out there that are trying to do something amazing in this space, right? And they're being drowned out by stupid shit like FTX, and Celsius and some of the other things that have happened over the years. So this is what we need to change. We need to change that. And once we do, we'll be in a stronger position. We'll be in a stronger position going forward. Let's start. Pain. Pain is all we have had this year. Yes, Drip. We know more than most, to be fair, mate. It's been pretty shit, to be fair. But we'll get through it. It's like anything, isn't it, really? Just keep grinding away, keep plugging away, and then eventually you get to where you need to be. This is pretty good, actually. The delay on the stream is literally, wow, that's amazing. It's like 2 seconds. All right, let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, about 4 seconds. 2 to 4 second delay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So, we've got 11 people. I have no idea who's in the chat, to be fair. But is there anything you guys want me to go through before I shoot off? I think this has been a perfect test. I'm very, very happy with the stream and the quality of the stream as well. The only thing I need to do, though, is I need to make sure that I change the title of the stream. And I'll probably just delete this one as well. Yeah, I mean, this is so slow, man. So slow. Terrible, absolutely terrible. What a flat market, man. EGC, yep, sure, man. .app, that's the one. UGC, Evergrow. What's this on the daily? Okay. What are we currently at? 6 zeros, 10. Yeah, almost nothing. Look at the volume. It's just like I said, everything's dead. You would expect Evergrow, right, which has 140,000 holders, roughly. And obviously we know there's some dead wallets and whatever there, but I don't know. Let's just say 120,000 holders. Well, we wouldn't even say 100,000 holders. You'd expect there to be a lot more volume, but this solidifies my point. Yeah. you know, that the cryptocurrency market is basically flat. Yeah, we're at a time of the year now where things are just basically just really, really slow. Yeah, and just looking at this, to be honest, you know, unless, and this is not just EGC, this is, I guess, any project that's on the Binance Smart Chain, unless volume starts to come back into the markets, right, and, you know, say BNB starts to bleed and ends up down at 235, possibly 200, you know, and worst case scenario 150, you know, everything's going to be affected, including Evergrow as well. You know, it wouldn't change really what they're doing, but in my opinion, I think we're probably going to end up, you know, a little bit lower down here. Bit hard to say, to show, sorry, but somewhere around here. Current price, where are we? Why is it doing that? That's really weird. What is that? Oh yeah, sorry. So current price is down here. Yeah. I think just as a function of normal price behavior and just the market going down, you know, we may stabilize here for, you know, for the next 2 to 3 months, you know, or we may drop lower, but I think it's going to take an immense amount of effort, you know, from the investors. No, let me start again. I think it's going to take, you know, the cryptocurrency market to be engaged with broadly. Forget reflection token spaces and these little pockets of areas. I'm talking about just the whole cryptocurrency market. Volume needs to come back in to get these things moving. Unless you do something different, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. B-Gar's saying, hey guys, sad flat market, but always happy to see you, LSP. Yeah, man. Yeah, likewise, mate. Do we see the burning results? No. I think it's just this. Let me just zoom in so you can see. I think it's this. The problem is with burns, right? Burns are only effective relative to, you know, the supply. Okay, so the outstanding supply. Like, let me separate the burns into two things, right? So the first is when you're burning tokens, obviously removing them from circulating supply. It doesn't matter about anything else. If you're removing tokens from circulating supply, you are increasing the value per token, right? So that's great. In that respect, the burn has, you know, an effect. How you doing, Shane? But if you have, for argument's sake, 500 trillion tokens and you're burning 100 tokens a day, the burn is irrelevant. It's going to do absolutely nothing, right? Hell will freeze over before that's affected. Now, if you had 500 trillion tokens and you were burning 50 trillion tokens a day, then you're going to see the results. Now, the burn itself, just burning tokens, does absolutely nothing to the price in the sense of the chart, you know, actually seeing the physical chart moving up and down and everything else. You have to buy said project and then burn the tokens, right? Because in doing so, you're effectively creating artificial volume, right? And the artificial volume, obviously, you know, is treated by the chart or by the charting program, in this case PooCoin, as a normal buy and sell, right? So if you're buying, you know, and then you're burning, buying, burning, buying, burning, you know, as far as Pancake's concerned, as far as PooCoin's concerned, as far as any charting, you know, service is concerned, it's just a normal buy, right? So it will reflect in the chart. But again, it has to be significant, right? It has to be significant. Now, obviously, burning a lot of tokens, you know, over a shorter period of time is very stupid. Yeah, it makes no sense. And obviously, you slowly take your time. You know, you do it in a methodical manner. You do it in a way where people can't take advantage of it, and you know, these types of things. Yeah, exactly, Dricknar. Anyway, shush. Keep it stum. We don't want to give anything away, man. Yeah, I agree, B-Garp. Yep, I agree. You know, remember, this isn't just about, you know, let me take a look at Ethereum as well. This isn't just about having, this isn't just about having a project, you know, and then trying to manipulate things, you know, for your investors. Yeah. And when I say manipulate, I use that word very, very loosely. I'm talking about, dare I say, ethical manipulation, right? Because every cryptocurrency project, almost every cryptocurrency project, whether a reflection token or not, right, has some sort of burn, right? You know, it's kind of built in, it's something that's become normal now and so on, you know, and it is, you know, ethical manipulation, right? Because when you buy a token and burn it, or when you're just burning tokens, right, you are manipulating that project, yeah? Oh, sorry, let me start again. You're manipulating that token, yeah? On some level, you know, Floki did it, you know, Shib's been doing it. Like, they all do it. It's got nothing to do with EGC or Rematic or, you know, like all of these other projects that we're all familiar with. Forget about that. It's ethical manipulation, right? Because investors know about it. They're aware that there's a burn there. It's, you know, said many, many times way before, you know, a project launches, for example. So it's just something that we've all become used to. But it has to be used in a way, in my opinion, that makes sense for investors. And sometimes, you know, just having a kind of default, oh yeah, we have a burn, you know, and we're just going to be burning tokens because everybody else burns tokens, isn't really thinking about it. You know, it's that, you know, all you're saying there really is that you're just doing the same thing as everybody else, right? Which doesn't really change anything. You know, we have to start to think a little bit more creatively, you know, and doing things that make more sense, you know, from a investor standpoint, you know, really looking after our investors. You can kind of think of the BTC halving as a kind of artificial burn too. Supply increase over time gets halved, so downtrend pressure, halve not counting for market conditions. Yeah, but don't forget as well, Drake, right, the halving is to my mind anyways, if memory serves, and at least if I've got this right, is also the amount of BTC that's rewarded, right, to miners per block as well, right? So that gets halved, you know, and it just keeps happening. So that last Bitcoin that's going to be mined is going to take a very, very, very long time, you know, to get to that point. But I agree. I mean, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I agree as well, Bigar. You know, like I said, everything we, you know, I tell you, it's actually quite funny, and I'm just gonna say it openly. Excuse me. Yeah, I agree, Drake. And I'm just going to say this openly, but basically this year, all we've had, to be honest, is just a copy and paste. Like literally just a copy and paste, right? So you had, you know, a couple of projects that were kind of the original projects, and we'll use reflection tokens as the kind of thing, you know, that started. And then from there, it's literally just been copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, you know, with I'd probably say 70 to 80% of those being rug pulls, you know, or pump and dumped. You know, and it's unfortunate because a lot of people have lost money. I know people who personally lost money. You know, I know people who've been scammed. You know, even just when we launched Rematic Finance, you know, in the first 2 weeks of, you know, Rematic Finance's launch, you know, I managed to stop 2 people from getting scammed because they're like, we're always telling people, don't listen to anybody. We never DM you, all of this good stuff. So it's constant. It's absolutely constant. And it's been the same for the entire year. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And what have we really seen? Let's just be frank, right? There's only 13 people here at the minute, right? And that it's a shame. But I'm going to ask you all a simple question. Have any of your reflection token projects, right, that you are invested in, yeah, been successful for you? And I'm not talking about long term. I'm not talking about what your plans are. I'm just talking about from the moment you bought them up to now, have they been successful? So what do we got here? It's basically 2:30, about there. Starts at 12. Rematic has. Yeah, okay. I appreciate that. 2 with reflections where I haven't lost value, okay, to a degree, but overall down. Okay, so, and I'm going to carry on because obviously, like I said, there's only 13 people here. You know, some people are probably just listening, but you know that's enough. That's enough for me to get to, you know, to get to what I'm trying to get at, right? So that was the afternoon session. All right, that's fine. So the question remains, right? In a space that is so fast in the way that we do things, right? And the challenges that we face and the way in which we can and in the way in which we can approach those challenges and change them, you know, and bring new ideas to the market. Why, out of the thousands and thousands and thousands of projects, right, that have been created and launched, whether on the Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, Avalanche, Polygon, it doesn't matter, right, being 90% failures, pump and dumps. How many times, guys, sorry, and I'm only doing this because I've got the Evergrow chart up, right, but how many times have we seen this? Pump, dump. Like almost every chart, and I'm sorry if I'm going to sound arrogant now, every chart except for, as far as I'm concerned, the RFTX chart. Yeah? Every chart except for the RFTX chart, and actually, I take that back, RFTX did really well. Didn't pump and dump. Everrise did well. Didn't pump and dump. Brew Labs didn't pump and dump, and there was another one I remember looking at the other day. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's been a few. But out of the thousands and thousands and thousands of projects, isn't it a shame, you know, that we have almost a 90% failure rate? Yeah. And why do you think that is? What's the problem there? Nice one, Thor. Yeah, Vault Finance are doing some pretty cool stuff, to be fair. Changes may not be saved. Okay, I'm not trying to leave the site. 98% BGAR saying BUSD up until a point. Yeah, BBFT did well. Yeah. But they still had that dump. Do you remember that second run that they had on the way up? And it was just grinding and grinding and grinding. It was doing really, really nicely. And then, obviously, as is always the case, there's, you know, people that are making money, so they're going to sell. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is why does this keep happening? Mike saying not enough real utility. It's an interesting point, but that's not what it is. Yeah, nice one, the team. Yeah, Drake. Yeah, you're getting there. Yep. But there's something else. And I'm not going to drag this on. I'm just going to tell you in a second. It is, all of these projects have done something right backwards, right? They have given people an opportunity. No, it's not fair. They've given people an opportunity, okay, to take advantage of said project, right? They've literally said, guys, come along, take as much money as you can in the first hour, okay, and then everybody else is going to get screwed. That's not the intention. There is no project that, at least that I know of, or that I've invested in, the ethical ones, you know, that went out of their way to do that. But it is just a function of, we want to be transparent and we want to be fair, so we're just going to basically leave it to the market. Really? So you're saying that allowing people to basically buy huge amounts of tokens, right, pre-sale or whitelist or in that moment or whatever, right? And then when the market opens, it rips to the upside. Somebody's bought, you know, $5,000 worth of, you know, a particular token, you know, and that's now worth 50,000. Do you really think that person's going to hold on to it? So it's a function of, dare I say, a little bit of stupidity and a little bit of ignorance, right? And we have to, and this is for launchers, right? But we've gone through a whole year of this. Nobody can deny this. I will argue this point to anybody that wants to have an argument with me about this, right? I'm happy to have an argument with anybody about this. We've had a full year of this crap, yeah? So doesn't it stand to reason that we can look back at this year now and say, do you know what? there's been some solid projects, some solid ideas, some incredible teams, you know, and we need to start to adjust the way that we're moving, you know, moving forward. Yeah, we don't need to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? People are very smart, yeah, in this space. The LSPTV Discord server is a really, really good example of what I'm about to say now, right? When I started that server, it attracted a lot of people, right, that, you know, that like me and they like the analysis and everything else, right? But what it also attracted, yeah, is people who were new and that have learned throughout that time that that Discord server has been open. And I've seen the progression, right, of people's education, mentality, the way that they think about cryptocurrency and so on, right? I know people in there that got burnt or got rug pulled. I know people in there, you know, that made money on pump and dumps, and I know people in there, you know, that are sitting on huge losses, yeah? And throughout all of this, they progressed over time and said, okay, I got burnt on that first initial pump and dump. I'm not going to do that again. Next time I'm going to be patient. So when the market opens, sorry, when the ICO happens, I'm not just going to go piling in. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait, right? This is the point. We have to be able to evolve as investors over time, and project owners have to be able to evolve over time, you know, to do the best, you know, for their investors and best for their projects, you know, so they're around for a while. So just some thoughts, you know, and like I said, going into next year, you know, there's going to be a lot of changes. Yes, regulation is absolutely coming. There's no question about that. Something that we also need to be mindful of. It's a pretty interesting drop on the dollar. You know, also have to be mindful of. Probably see 103 on the dollar. Yeah, we're probably going to end up back at $100 on the dollar at some point. But anyway, you know, lots of changes that need to be made, you know, and I think next year, even with regulation coming in and policies, you know, that they're going to be implementing, you know, as long as projects are careful, you know, and they are on point, and they have solid legal teams, you know, they'll be around, you know, they'll be around. So that's me, guys. Happy with the stream. Really happy with the way that this has gone. You know, the quality is very good. Let me just take a quick look at the actual quality itself. Streaming in 1080p. Nice. I can see the chat. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Perfect. What's the euro saying? Ooh, that's a nice spot. Not telling anybody to short the euro, but interesting. All right, so yeah, that's me done. I may set up a stream a little bit later if I have time. It is Friday. I think I'm going to be visiting family tonight, and I've got a lot of work to do from now until sort of mid-afternoon. So I'll be around in all the usual places, but outside of that, I'll try my best to get a stream done sometime later, or if not, you know, over the weekend, now that we're nice and set up. All right, guys, so I'll leave it at that, and I will chat to you guys